I'm 24N, a straight, cis dude who loves getting makeup applied because it's relaxing. Otherwise great Tinder date said it's effort G like. I don't go out in makeup, my older sisters always used to make me wear it, and over the years the whole process of having it applied is almost zen-like to me. Had an otherwise awesome Tinder date, and when she asked about my weirdest habit I told her. She said I don't know, it's almost effort G like to me. She wants to meet up again today, but those words keep running through my head. Is this too far, or give her another chance? Edit, just talked with her and she said she has a lot of gay friends and they say it to each other all time. It's kind of compliment to her. Does this change anything? That's a hard no from me. It'd be one thing if she called it odd or interesting, but diving straight into the slurs tells you exactly who you're dealing with and exactly how she's going to react anytime you do anything that strays from the very restrictive bounds of traditionally masculine. So unless you want to spend your life shamed into being locked in that suffocating box, let this one go. Updated, and her excuse was that she has gay friends and they use it all the time with her. If she's with them then that's fine, but to say that to a stranger is a huge no-no. If that's how she reacts, then I wouldn't want to go on another date with her. She went too far. That's an extremely rude thing to say. She had no right. Plus makeup is fun and not only for girly girls. TF. Don't need to be dating someone who feels comfortable saying that to you on a date. Especially about a habit you just shared, lol. You can do better, she's gub. Be glad you found out early. I'd dump anyone who uttered that phrase, about anyone, even Harry in a dress. It's kind of compliment to her. Did she say it to you like it was a compliment? It sounds like she was using it in a derogatory sense. My 31F husband, 31M, joined the Proud Boys. I don't know how to reconcile this. Edit, thank you everyone for your feedback and for the messages of support. As you can see, my husband has started to comment, and this is getting out of hand. I'm reaching out for couples mediation since my arguments are clearly going nowhere with him. My 31F husband, 31M, of almost 10 years reached out to our local Proud Boys group and requested to join, and was approved. I found this out while I was looking through his email account for tax documents, something that is totally normal in our relationship since I handle all the finances. I consider myself a liberal, and he has always been a conservative/libertarian. I always made peace with this difference by avoiding talking about politics and understanding that we have the same goals, just different ideas on how to achieve those results. When I confronted him about joining the group, he denied all my accusations that the Proud Boys were racist, violent, etc. In fairness, this local chapter repeatedly states in their code that they have zero tolerance for discrimination against race, religion, sexuality, etc., and that they are not a fight club. All my other accusations against the group were rebutted. He did state that he agreed with their West is best philosophy, which he insists is related to capitalism/democracy, not race. I pressed him for why he felt the need to join an organization widely regarded as a hate group, and he said it was hard to find like-minded conservatives his age to hang out with. He just wanted some drinking buddies. My pleas to check meetup.com or local church groups fell on deaf ears, even though I found several groups that matched. I am having so much trouble reconciling the caring man I know versus his online far-right persona. I've not been happy with his Twitter account that is very trolling, but will only call it out if I see straight up BS. It's nothing harmful, he just enjoys arguing and riling others up on technicalities. Hence why we don't discuss politics. But this Proud Boys membership is a step too far. I'm so ashamed to admit I'm married to a man that is part of this group, hence the throwaway. We have a 1-year-old daughter, and he is an otherwise loving husband and father. He rocks her to sleep every night, and immediately gets up in the night if she cries. He always asks how I'm feeling, and quickly takes over if I'm overwhelmed. We have been together since we were 14 years old. How do I reconcile this? Do I just ignore it unless he actually does/says something that goes against my values instead of just judging by association? I'm having trouble drawing a line and weighing the good against what I perceive as bad. I have no other cause for divorce/separation. Too long didn't read, otherwise loving husband has joined the Proud Boys. I don't see him as a hateful person, and I'm not sure how to reconcile this in my relationship with him. Don't let him gaslight you. Hitler loved his dogs and he still murdered millions of innocent people. He may love you and his daughter, but I imagine that his care for you will end if you challenge him. I would take your daughter and leave. You do not need her head being filled with the ideas this group espouses, and you do not need your home life tinged with violence and hatred. You cannot deny what your own eyes see. They bill themselves as Western chauvinists. They bill themselves as white nationalists. You've seen what they stand for, and so has he. His ideals are outright dangerous to you and your child. Please get space away from this man. Where was your husband on January 6, 2021? I am having so much trouble reconciling the caring man I know versus his online far-right persona. That is not a persona. That is the same man. In fact, that's more him than anything. When you go online and believe what you say and do has no consequences, your true self is revealed. I don't have any advice but want to point out that this persona is a part of who he is. He truly believes. And it's not just an online persona at all. He straight up said this is a group of like-minded people that he wants to spend time with in real life. This is who he is. Why the hell do couples think that avoiding talking about politics is a good idea and then get surprised later when they find out their spouse is an absolute piece of shit? There are literal videos of them beating Jews for walking down the street. Dozens of them beating on a man and woman that just wanted away from them. There's videos of them talking about killing all kinds of groups of people. The man that started the Proud Boys literally said he dreams of choking people and that the group should be violent. They all say they're not racist. All of them. They have to say that so they can claim they aren't when the hammer comes down. They stormed the Capitol and talked about killing Pence and Pelosi. You say you're liberal, but your man wants to join a group that talks about killing liberals. They're fucking racist, sis. They're terrorists. They're horrible people. Unless your husband has the IQ of a crayon, he is very aware of all of this and still wants to join because that's who he is. I want kids but think my husband lied to me about wanting them. I, 35F, have wanted kids since I could remember and have always talked about wanting kids. As I got older and I started to date seriously, I knew it would be important to let the guy know that it was something I wanted. Previously I had broken up with guys because they had not wanted any, and that was fine because we were honest with each other. Fast forward to when I had started hanging out with my husband, 36 back then, as friends. When he showed interest, I told him straight up, don't date me if you don't want kids. He had told me he did want them, maybe 1 or 2. We dated a few years and got engaged. I had mentioned kids again and he said he didn't want them right away, and I actually agreed with him and said that I wanted our time first to be married and get settled, but didn't want to wait until we were too old. We were 30 and 31 at that time. We had moved a couple times and moved away from family because he wanted to start a new career, and I left my job to go with him and start a new job in a new city. Whenever I ask about trying for a kid now, he just says excuses. They used to be. Didn't want to raise them here. I want to have a stable job, and we are never going to have fun again. We have been married coming up on 5 years now, together 8.5, and known each other over 10 years, and it's still the same stuff. I love him very much, but I have started to think he lied to me from the beginning. I am not willing to give up wanting kids, and I don't want to push him to have kids if that's not what he wants. But I don't understand why he didn't say that a long time ago. That's taking away one of my dreams that I have wanted forever. I just don't know what to do. So many of my friends have said to leave. It's just not that easy. If you comment, no need to be rude. I just want opinions. He's just trying to run out the clock. He knows all he has to do is stall a few more years and you're stuck. I'd tell him to either knock you up now or walk. He's just trying to run out the clock. He's 35, if he doesn't know what he wants then he never will. He needs to shit or get off the pot. I know someone who was your age leave a 10-year relationship for this very reason. She met someone else a couple of years later. She got pregnant after about a year and they have a 2-year-old now. Your husband knows how important this is to you. If he's not willing to talk about it, it's a deal breaker and he knows that. Don't delay. Move on if he's not on the same page. If you force him, he will be resentful and the kid will suffer. I read so many of these posts and just think, when will these women put themselves first? If you want kids, decide when you want them, communicate that, and then stick to it. I want to start trying when I'm 28. There. End of story. Either they can get on board, or they can let you go find someone who is on board. Ladies, you need to know what you want and then chase it. I think it's a combination of hope, boiling a frog, and sunk cost fallacy, that means you keep thinking just one more year. I was in the same situation with my ex-partner of 11 years. We had one daughter together and he always said he wanted more kids. Like your husband, it was excuse after excuse. Then I turned 35. It was a turning point for me as I realized time wasn't on my side, so as hard as it was I left. He didn't want marriage either, so I didn't just leave for the no more children issue. Fast forward 6 months and I met someone new who wanted the same things as me and I thought I was finally happy and found the one. A year and a half into our relationship I was diagnosed with terminal cancer and can no longer have children. I'm not really sure what the moral of my story is, but I guess don't waste your life on someone who doesn't want the same things as you. You never know what is going to happen. Thank you for sharing that and sorry to hear that. He may have wanted them back then, and has since changed his mind. He might not necessarily be lying in that regard. However, this does fundamentally change things for you. There's no way to compromise in this. You either do or don't have kids, and it would be wrong to try to force him if he doesn't want to. So it's deep, serious discussion time. You need to 100% know where he stands on this issue right now, because you will have decisions to make. And if he's against kids now and you're dead set on having them, then you need to leave and start looking for someone actually compatible with you before you run out of time. Have the discussion and don't accept deflection type responses. If it's still he wants to but not yet, then you need to know exactly why not yet, and exactly when he will be ready. Don't let him string you along to run out the clock.